what I see, it's like a 1st of January morning every day. So
Yeah.
nobody in the street, just maybe
Okay.
one person and kind of rushing and
Yeah.
Okay. So here we are. We should be live.
Okay.
So
let
behave
me reload
yourself.
the
Well,
Say nice things. No, no, I don't know.
Yeah,
Uh,
you're live, but we just see you.
you don't see me. Hold on. Oh, here?
So we can make funny faces,
No, actually, we're live. I think we're live.
all right.
but
I hope.
just you,
No,
right? No?
no. I see you. I see you too. I see you sucking your thumb.
Oops. Oopsie.
Hey,
Uh,
everybody. If okay, I know that there's some people that got dumped off, so hopefully, um, you'll be able to come back on. Hold on. Hold on 1 second. I see. Hold on 1 second. So, do you see it now?
no,
You don't see it now?
there's no,
Go
there's no
try.
live.
But it's a different link though,
Oh
right?
shit! Is it? Try to go
Yeah, you have.
back. Try to go back and Oh, because I stopped the stream.
No, I have like 1 minute 30 stream. Well, so it's not live, and then
Oh
nothing
yeah,
else.
it's a totally different video.
Just put it on the other.
Yeah.
No, because
Now
I
I see
ended it
myself. Now
already.
I see.
It's a different link now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you know what?
It's
It's
yeah.
fine. I guess hopefully.
No, copy. Hold on. We can copy the link to the other one. To inform people that are on the other.
Oh, you can.
Yeah, of course. Like a comment at least. Yep.
Oh, okay. Are you doing that? Would you want me to do that?
Yeah. I'm doing it. If you give me a sec.
You Spaniards are very thoughtful and creative. Oh, I see something.
Okay.
Okay. Well, anyway, so I think there's a few of you on now watching who have figured this out. Did you put the new link in the other comment section?
No, I cannot because
Maybe I
as
can.
it's a video, I cannot put a comment on it.
Oh,
It's not like that as it was before.
hold on.
Maybe you as admin can put it even on the title of it or whatever.
Yeah, so I will. Okay. Hopefully this is working. Hopefully people will find us. If anything, they'll find it on the replay. So thank you so much. I'm so sorry. Lorenzo and Tamim, for those of you who don't, we worked together on House Hunters many, many years ago.
Yep.
Haven't seen you since, so it's kind of very nice to see you guys. I'm sorry that it's under these circumstances. But maybe guys can just introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about where you're from and what you do and your current situation where you are.
Lorenzo?
Tamim.
Okay, Tamim.
Okay.
So I'm Tamim El Galati. I'm half Spanish, half Syrian. Live in Madrid all my life. I'm a TV producer. I used to be a journalist. Used to be sociology. And now, as everybody in Spain, I'm in a lockdown here.
And since
Okay.
when? You guys have been on lockdown since.
Officially, we have been in a lockdown since last Sunday. So today is the 6th day. But things have been slower for 2 weeks, I would say.
It's not working. It keeps playing an old video.
Oh, hold on 1 second. You have to go to a different link.
Oh, you sent me a link?
What? No, just go to Modern. If you go to Modern Aging's page, there's a new link, unfortunately, because I had to stop the old stream because it wasn't working. And Lorenzo?
I'm Lorenzo Orlandini. I live in Tuscany, Italy, and I was born and raised here. I have worked with Reason House Hunters, and I've worked in TV and movies for a while now. I'm working at a media a communication agency, media company, and I'm a project manager. I'm still writing, screenwriter, part-time at the moment. And I live maybe 30 minutes outside of Florence, and we have been in a lockdown since the 9th.
I remember watching the news when they said that northern Italy was going to go on lockdown, and then all of Italy was going on lockdown. And it was really, really, really shocking, I have to say. I don't know if you guys were expecting it, or was it as much of a shock to you guys?
It was, I mean, it was, but we were kind of expecting it at that point because it happened pretty fast. But if you think about it, things got pretty bad in the region around Milan, and they got worse and worse. And at first they tried to sort of isolate the towns in which it was happening and where it was worse, but then it became evident that it was spreading really fast. But when they tried to isolate Lombardia, which is the region around Milan, which had a lot of cases, and we realized that a lot of people were leaving Milan, were taking the train to go elsewhere to be out of the lockdown. The first thing I thought was okay, tomorrow it's going to be all of Italy, because that doesn't make sense. If everybody's spreading the virus around, it was pretty obvious it was going to happen. And it was very responsible on their part, even though it's understandable that people would freak out and do that, but it was very responsible, and everybody was very disappointed, to say the least. But, and then when I see, sorry. And then when I see what's going on in other countries, pretty much the same is happening. I think in France, I was reading reports of the same thing happening in France. So, I don't know.
And what about you guys in Madrid?
Well, I think we were expecting it more than in Italy, probably because we are like 1 week after Italy. So we know that everything is happening there. It's going to happen the same, more or less here. Here, exactly, it started in some regions, not in Madrid, that is now the main focus. It was in other regions, and people were laughing of the chance of having like feast that has to be cancelled. Like this is not going to happen. But we already had Milan on lockdown, and it was kind of. I think it's happening in every country that, at the beginning at least, people were thinking that was not going to happen to them. That was something that happened in China, that it was quite far away, and maybe Italy, poor Italians. But then it comes to Spain, and probably French people said it's Italy and Spain, but it's not going to happen to us. And now it's everywhere.
Right.
It's everywhere. And even though in Spain happened exactly the same, when the lockdown was almost arrived, people tried to go anywhere but to stay at home. Even that with this disease, the problem is that you already have spread it, because symptoms take like 10 to 14 days to show. So it's not just what you're doing right now; it's what you have done in the past. And these 14 days before is when we have spread it all over the world.
Yeah.
So what does lockdown actually? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, not to mention the fact that a lot of people have no symptoms at all.
No, that's the scary part, right? People are just walking around being like, it's fine, and so what does lockdown actually mean in Italy and Spain? What are you restricted to do, and what can you do?
Well, you can go get the groceries, but you have to stand in line 1 meter apart or more. So there are lines outside of the shops that are kind of long, and they're going to let you in only a few people at a time, so you can just walk in. There's a limited number, which I don't know how they establish, but it's probably based on the size of the supermarket or whatever. You can get other necessities. Post offices, I think, are still open, but I'm not sure. But I think they're still open. Banks, I think, are still open. You can go to work if you have to. So people who have to go to work. So factories are open. Other places in which people can't work remotely, and they're still going to work. I'm not going to work. I'm working from home. Most people are staying at home.
So they're not forcing people to work from home.
No, well, generally, if it's kind of understood that if it's something you can do from home, you're going to do it from home. But I mean, even larger companies, sometimes larger companies are not ready to organize work from home, and some people are still going to work.
Can you take a walk outside?
There's a debate. Basically, it seems at first it seemed like you could, as long as it wasn't too many people altogether. Now it seems like you can't. I haven't figured it out yet. I'm just not going for walks. I'm not sure whether you can or not. I'm just not doing it. I think it's kind of frowned upon. Let's put it like that. So it's not.
So people feel guilty if they're outside without Well, you also told me about a piece of paper that people are supposed to carry around.
Yeah. So when you're right. So there's a form that you can download off of the internet and you can print. And whenever you leave the house, you're supposed to have it on you to show the police. And the form states, your name and where you live and where you're going and why. So basically, I'm going to work, or I'm going to the pharmacy, or I'm going to the doctor, or I have some other necessity, some whatever need. In case you don't have it, police are going to have one, and they're going to make you sign one. And one of the recent additions to that form is that before it was just a form saying where I'm doing this and that, and for this reason. And now you have to state, by signing the form, you're stating that you don't have any symptoms, or you don't have a fever or other symptoms of the illness.
But so many people are asymptomatic anyway. I mean,
yeah. Well, you're not stating that you don't have the virus. You're just stating that you don't have reasons to believe. You don't have reasons to believe that you have the virus.
Yeah.
Basically, you're not stating anything.
I know. It's crazy.
It's a bit twisted. It's a bit twisted. But I think they're doing it to discourage people from just walking around. There was a case of somebody. I don't know if I was telling you about that, Risa, but there was a case of somebody which made the news in northern Italy who was going to have a rhinoplasty, and he had a fever and whatever respiratory symptoms. He didn't say anything to the doctors, and when they took him to the operating room to have surgery, and they realized he was hot, so they took his temperature, tested him, and he was positive. So he didn't get surgery, and now he's going to jail probably because he, two of the doctors got sick apparently, or two of the staff. I don't know if it was a doctor or a nurse, but people are just. Most people, I think, are being very considerate and doing whatever, doing the right thing. But some people are going to be selfish and just inconsiderate and reckless, and that's never going to happen. And it's never going to end. It's always going to happen.
Right. What about in Spain? Are you finding that people are abiding by the rules? Are you, what are you allowed to do or not do?
I would say that is more or less what Lorenzo has told. I mean, most of the people are following the rules. Of course, there are exceptions, and it's more notorious when you are not following the rules at all. The people that are staying at home. I think here it's a bit more clear, but again, it's just because we are following them. So you cannot go for a walk, even if you have a dog at home. You can just go literally in front of your house. So not with the excuse that I have a dog, then I take a 45 minutes walk around the neighborhood. Here we have supermarkets, grocery open, banks kind of. I think the factories are starting to close. I have read a few that are closing, and basically it's just the emergency and sanitary system that is working.
Well, I mean, I have to say, when Italy announced that they were going on lockdown, it kind of feels like that was like a year ago or something, and it was only like 10 days ago. I mean, how are you guys, or your friends or family or whoever, how are they dealing mentally with this? Like, how are you guys making sure that your mental health and your physical health doesn't, suffer?
I'm not sure that I am. But we're trying. I mean, I think it's different for everybody. Depends on, this is disrupting your daily routine entirely. So whatever you were used to doing, your little things that you would do that would, keep you going, you can't do them anymore. And so what I'm personally trying to do is, keep a structure. So like I'm working. So like I'm working 9 to 6, and that keeps me busy, and I don't get bored out of my mind or obsessing about things because I have work to think about. And that's actually, I mean, it's tiring, but it's actually a really big help.
Yeah.
What I'm doing is I'm trying to sort of set boundaries for myself. So like stick to the times in which I'm working, I'm not working, because I'm always at the office basically now, which can be tricky, I think. And it's getting to me a little bit, but not as much. And so, for example, I always dress for work, even though I'm not going to work. Oh, wow. Sometimes I do calls with people, and they're like in their trainers or whatever, pajamas or. Mm-hmm. And that's fine by me. It just wouldn't work for me, because I know that at one point I would lose track of where I'm at.
Right.
And so, but what you were saying about time is definitely true. Like the sense of what day it is and how long it has been since, and the lockdown, it's all very blurry and it's confusing. And also, like, I think we talked 2 days ago, and it feels like ages, and I feel like the way I'm feeling is a lot different right now. Yeah. So your mood and your state of mind can change a lot over shorter periods of time because it's so intense.
Yeah, for example, tomorrow it's Saturday, and Saturday is supposed to be the weekend, but it's not the weekend anymore. So every day is the same. The only thing that changed probably is the TV, what you can see on TV. But it's not a Saturday anymore. It's another day of lockdown, and it feels like really the time is really slow. And I used to work at home, so all the things that Lorenzo told it's what I usually do. But now the thing is, I used to work at home, but I was able to go out. Now you can't. Yeah. You literally can't do anything. And that feeling of being stuck, it's literally to be stuck in one place. And I was saying, I loved my apartments. I thought I have a very pretty apartment, and it was fantastic till this lockdown. now it feels small, and it feels smaller every day, and it feels less and less comfortable every day, and it feels that it's not falling apart, it's falling over me. So what do I do apart from keeping my little daughter busy, which keeps me busy, because on the contrary of Lorenzo, I don't have any job. Once I'm a TV producer, when this started, in 20 hours everything was cancelled, pim. So I have literally nothing to do but the things that you never want to do in the office, like boring stuff. I have a little daughter that I have to keep busy for all the day, and that's the only thing. And what I'm doing is try to keep it day by day. Don't think on the long term. Don't even try to think on, because next week many people are talking, because we have a 15 days lockdown, and then they will have to revisit. I'm not thinking on when they are going to revisit, because I'm thinking on tomorrow. What I'm gonna do tomorrow. How I'm gonna keep myself busy. How I'm gonna keep my little daughter busy. But for sure, this is going to be. I mean, this is huge. This is the kind of things that we are going to talk to our grandsons, because it's something that was unexpected. that it has changed everything, everybody's life from A to Z. So it's gonna be. We cannot know the consequences yet, but I think that psychologists and psychiatric are going to have to deal with a lot of people. I mean, from the funny part of marriages that usually see each other for 2 hours a day, that now have to see each other for 24 hours. No, it's the same. You have a lot of people that get divorced on holidays because they realize that they don't like each other because they spend too much time together. But this is the same. But you cannot even divorce. You cannot divorce. You cannot divorce. You have because there's no there here in Spain. They have closed all the courts, so you are stuck with that person, and it's. I mean.
And then maybe they'll have babies instead.
Yeah, or a lot of babies in 9 months.
Yeah, exactly.
But a lot of babies with single parents.
Oh my God, Tamim.
Could be. But it's definitely true what you're saying about like not thinking in the long term, and that's something that at one point you're like it clicks in your head that you're just gonna have to get used to not being able to think what's gonna happen within a week.
Wow.
You can't plan anything because you don't know like what's gonna happen once the declared lockdown period ends. What's gonna happen? We don't know. It's gonna get long. I mean,
this will end though at some point. I mean, is there anything?
It will end, but sorry to interrupt you, Risa. It will end, but it will not be like end of the lockdown and back to normal life.
Right.
It's gonna take months and months to get back to normal life because at least that's what they are saying. And what we were talking the other day about people getting the disease with post-traumatic stress because being isolated and with no information whatsoever what's happening with their relatives and so on. So normal life, as we knew it, it's going to take a while. And hopefully it won't be exactly the same and we will learn something from this, which I personally doubt.
You doubt?
Yeah, I personally doubt it.
You don't think we'll have...
I mean, the most similar example we have is the economic crisis that we have 10 years ago or something like that. And everybody was saying, yeah, after in Spain and Italy were one of the countries that were really, really hit by that crisis. But we were saying, no, everything has to change. This is awful. We are learning the lesson. Lorenzo, correct me if I'm wrong. Everything is exactly the same.
Yeah.
I mean, this, in the other hand, this affects you more personally than the crisis. Even if the crisis affected me directly, but this affects me on a more personal way than just.
Well, it's deeper, right?
It's deeper, but this system is so perfectly built that it's not gonna allow any big change. I don't think so. I honestly don't think so. I hope so, but I don't think so.
Unfortunately, I agree with Tamim. I don't think it's gonna be. I think we're gonna forget pretty soon. I think.
Well, I know. No, I get it. People's memories are short, but I don't know. You know, who knows at the end? Who knows at the end of this? Hoping, I don't know. If anything, actually, it's been good for the planet. Because, in this weird way, because there's not all these planes flying and all this production of products and consumer goods that, so they're getting a little bit of a break, but who knows, right? I don't know if it's going to come back in full force or.
It's going to be worse than before to make up for the time we've lost, probably.
So I mean, it will also depend on how long this is. I mean, because depending on the time that we are on this, it will affect more people on their inside and on their deep. So if it's a very long thing, if I'm saying for me a very long thing, it's like 50 days, like they have been in China, 50, 60 days of lockdown. I think that memory won't be easy to be erased and will change people. But the amount of change on people, would that change the system? Mm, that's my doubt. I mean,
I guess we
can
need new
change,
politicians, right?
we need a new system. That
Yeah,
comes with
well,
new politicians, but just changing the people, that doesn't.
right. Good point. Well, what do you see anything that's been surprising, like acts of humanity towards, other fellow citizens?
Yeah, a lot of it.
A lot of it.
A lot of it. I'm a very proud Madrilean, a very proud citizen of Madrid, and I always say that in the 11th of March of 2004, Madrid, when the terrorist attack, showed that it's a great city. I mean, we are the capital city, so everybody that is not living in Madrid, as it happened probably in Milan and Roma, hate us and doesn't like us because we are the capital city. But in those moments, we show that that Madrid citizens are great, and it happened in 2004 and has happened again. The day before the lockdown, there was a call, for example, in the hospitals because there was not enough blood supply, and they have to announce in the radio and in the TV, please stop going. Every hospital is full of blood supplies, so please stop going to the hospital for that. So that shows that people is willing to help in any way. And
You
there
mean
are
go to the hospital to donate blood?
Oh. People were going to donate blood, and there was so many people
Oh.
donating blood that they cannot manage
Oh,
that amount of people.
wow.
And going to a hospital is not kind of a funny thing to do when you know that the hospitals are full of people with disease. Despite that, people went, and in every neighbor there's people putting signs and putting advertise like, if you need kind of an assistance, we'll do it for you. And that's kind of a thing. I mean, these people needed help also before, and we didn't realize. But at least now we are realizing that there's people that need more our help, and it's great. And we are also copying the Italian on going every day to the balconies, to the windows. It's very stupid, but it's one of my favorite moments of the day.
So why don't you tell us what it is?
No,
Yes, because I think
Lorenzo,
it's
you were
the stupid
the
thing.
inventors.
I haven't done it, not even once, but because
Lorenzo.
it's not happening in my street. But yeah, it's basically what's been happening in Italy at 6 o'clock every day. People just step out of their onto their balcony or just peek out of the window and start singing together some famous song. And that's a moment of unity, and it's a moment in which you're trying not to think about the bad part, and you're trying to recover a sense of community.
Oh, so you
I've
guys
seen a
are
video.
singing, not clapping,
No,
Yeah,
singing.
we clap. We clap.
because the Italians can sing.
Yeah. Probably that's the most important reason. Now here it started at 10 p.m. because we are Mediterraneans, late way of life. At 10 to kind of say thank you to the people that are still working, to hospital workers, social security cleaners, blah blah. And then we changed it to 8 p.m. so kids can do it together. And every day at 8, people, and I think it's all around Spain. I mean, I know that in my neighbor everybody goes. Now I know my neighbors that I have been living here for 9 months, and I didn't know their names. Now I know their names because we see each other at 8 p.m. clapping and saying, "Come on, we are all on this together. We'll get through."
That's awesome. No, I know that in the Netherlands they've also started to clap as well, and the whole Italian singing out of their windows has become like crazy viral. I don't know if you know that, but
Yeah.
But yeah, no, people have been. I mean, it does really bring a sense of, I don't know, some sort of unity and sadness as well, but also some hope. I feel like, but the fact that you get to know your neighbors now, I just wanted to ask you. I know that having young kids at home. I have a teenager who likes to sleep until noon, so that's been a blessing in disguise. But when you have kids that are 4 or 5 years old who prefer not to, How are you keeping them entertained, or like, because I think that a lot of parents are dealing with this issue, and then also, when they have elderly parents at home.
Well, to keep her busy, what I do is it's like a rainy day, but it's one rainy day after each other, after another one. So the school send us some activities, like suggestions of things to do, like what they usually do. But I don't want her to feel like this is school. So we do some of the activities depending on her mood, and again, I'm taking it day by day. I mean, we do have schedules, so she understands that this is not a holiday, although I'm not sure she has understood that. But we get up, we do breakfast, then we change our clothes, and the first day even we went to the door, and then the day started as we used to do. No, so she keeps in her mind that that's the day, and then we do some activities in the morning are more school related. She's 4 years old, so school and fun are very very close. And then we have lunch together, and then we have like more game activities. But it's tiring, and thank God that I share custody, and it's 1 week every two. But I'm thinking in lots of, unfortunately, more it's mothers than parents that have the custody of the full custody of kids, and I have just one. Thinking if I have 3 for 1 month, I mean, you have to keep it together.
Yeah.
And honestly, you have to keep it together, because yesterday, for example, it was a very tiring day, because I mean, they get tired. It's every day at home playing with the same guy. He's my daddy, but it's the same guy playing every day, and it's boring for them. And I understand. And yesterday she had a horrible day, and I ended up having a horrible day too. And I wasn't depressed, but I was really, really tired and thinking, oh my God, if I have to do this for 60 days alone with 3, what would I do?
Yeah.
And there's plenty of families that have to do that. So now you guys have been in this for 10 days or less. Have you set up any kind of routines? Have you learned anything? I mean, the sad truth is that a lot of us, especially the Americans, and probably the Brits, are kind of right behind you guys in terms of the lockdowns and this sort of very limited being able to go outside. Are there, I don't know, is there suggestions that you have that we should be thinking about, things that have worked for you, or things that like don't do, like
don't get tons of toilet paper. People got crazy, and I think it was the same in Italy, Lorenzo. Like, what is happening?
No. People are in Italy. In Italy, people are not buying toilet paper in bulk. No.
So it was just in Spain.
They're buying pasta.
Australia and the US, I think, and the UK. I don't know. That's really weird. Like that's the thing.
Very very weird. But it's kind of a spread the sense of apocalypse. Like,
yeah,
I have to like, come on guys. I mean, it's
well, we need something to laugh at now.
But it's not the most urgent thing that you will need. I mean, get food, get drinks. There are other things that are more important. And then, I mean, there are pictures of a guy having like, I don't know, a tower of 2 meters high of toilet paper in her terrace. Like, you will need 3 lives to use all that toilet paper. What are you doing with that?
That's something that Italians are really, if we hadn't so much to worry about, that would be something that we'd spend our day wondering what that's about. Like, why is everybody else in the world buying toilet paper instead of food? That's something that Italians are just flabbergasted.
Well, the Italians need their food, that's for sure.
Coming back to your question, for me was very important, and I was quite quick. I do exercise 3-4 days per week outside.
Oh, you do outside? Where?
I usually run outside. So when this came, I said, oh, this is going to be a problem for me because it also, I mean, sport it's fine, but also it's fine for your mind. So I kind of need it to keep my mind and have my moment of peace. So I buy a machine to be able to do some sport in this tiny apartment, because even if I run in this apartment, I don't have enough space. But it's a stupid thing. But
No,
for
it's not.
people that
Yeah.
but for people that are used to do sport, it's kind of a thing that saved me. Like, get something like a bike or something that you can that fit in your place, and that keeps you. And then I have my little routine again, a new routine that I have set up from 5:30 to 6:30. I do some exercise, sweat, and
That's great.
it works.
That's good. No, that's really important, right? The physical exercise, it helps the mental, I think, right?
Yeah.
Lorenzo, have you set up any kind of new routines that you feel have benefited you?
Not really. I mean, other than what I was saying about trying to keep your day structured and, resist the temptation of making every day like the other. When Tamim before was saying, it's a Sunday, but it's just another day. I'm trying to resist the temptation to work on Sundays because, it would make my life easier, because maybe my Monday would be a bit slower rather than having to catch up with stuff. But at the same time, I think you need to draw a line. I was talking to other people from work, and they said, yeah, this is due on Tuesday, but I'm going to do it tomorrow because I'm at home. I'm going to get bored. And, part of me wants to do that the same. And eventually I'm probably going to slip. But I'm trying to make a conscious effort to keep my space, and
Have a structure.
Yeah, because otherwise, it's a Sunday, but it's also a Monday. It's something that, and then a Monday becomes a little bit of a Sunday, and then you lose it. I'm already having trouble sleeping. I don't sleep as well as I used to, because, you go from living room to bedroom to the other room, and then, I don't go outside to run. I don't go outside to exercise. So there's very little you can do to exercise inside. At least I haven't figured out yet. So it's like the tension builds up a little bit, and to have a structure has really helped me.
Have you heard of anybody doing kind of like live streaming group meditations, or people like communities?
Yeah, a friend of mine is a yoga instructor, and she was doing it tonight. I couldn't take part because I'm doing this.
Sorry.
It's okay. I was gonna sit on the couch anyway. So.
I know. She's using it as an excuse. Oh, so she just says she's doing live yoga?
Yeah, I think she's doing live meditation. But she might do live yoga as well. I don't know. But yeah, a lot of people have started doing that, and live fitness classes of some kind, the kind of stuff that you can do with a chair.
Yeah.
That's been going on for a while now. I mean, you have to find ways, and it's something, if they had told me just 4 weeks ago, I would never have believed this was ever going to happen.
Yeah, that's, I think, the crazy thing about this. 1 month ago, think about it, right? None of us would have dreamed we'd be where we are. No offense, but I wasn't even thinking about you guys, so.
You were not. Okay. You took the apocalypse to.
I know. But then I realized I missed you.
Yeah. But like it's we're figuring it out as we go, so it's kind of scary that way. And at the same time, as Tamim was saying, you think day by day, and every day you figure something out which is new, and you readjust. It's a lot of readjusting. It's going shopping, talking to your family, talking to your friends. People are coming up with all sorts of ideas. There's a local internet platform that's going to do a live quiz tomorrow night. So everybody's gonna join for a. I don't know how that's gonna go, but I'm gonna attend, because that sounds like a fun idea. So people are coming up because
starting to become creative.
Yeah, trying to become creative, and I don't know.
And collaborative too, because they are offering. I mean, for parents again, They have one place that every day at 11 they have a storytelling for kids, and then they have yoga for kids, and they are offering that for free. Everybody's like, I mean,
Right.
they know that they cannot do anything, so they just offering, and there are a lot of things being offered, like for people to keep. I don't know if busy or at least a bit distracted of not being all day in the sofa watching TV, because you can get crazy, honestly. And the other thing is social meetings online. No, now it's one online live, which we all blame, and it's like, oh, it's a disaster. Now it's great.
Right.
Now it's great. So you realize it's not the tool, it's the use that you're doing of the tool. I mean, tomorrow I have an appointment at 1 p.m. with all my friends. We are going to be 16 to 20, and we are going to drink a beer together as we used to. But instead of drinking it in a bar or in a terrace or whatever, we're going to drink it in front of the computer. It's not the same, but it's good. I mean, you have to keep bounds, and I think that Italy and Spain, for that, we are quite good countries, because social relations are very important in our everyday life before of this virus, and they are still helping us quite a lot.
What is the so we're going to wrap this up soon. So if people have questions, they can write them in the comments section. But I want to know what the government is doing for its citizens. Has it announced, like the US has just announced that our taxes have been delayed, usually it's in April, now it's going to be July. We're supposed to be getting this $1,200 each citizen. I've heard things, in France, that they don't have to pay their utility bills, they don't have to pay their rent for the time being. Has Italy and Spain announced what it's doing?
In Spain, they have announced laws, and they are announcing laws this is overwhelming for every government, I would say, and they announce something, and then they re-announce, and then they realize that what they have announced 2 days ago, it's not enough. It doesn't cover a lot of people. They are overwhelmed as everybody, but they are the ones that have to make decisions,
Right.
and that's a fact. So in Spain, they have announced in these 6 days, I think they have announced economical things every day, and
Like relief packages, type of
yeah,
money,
relief
or
packages. No, it's not. So, for example, freelancers, we can delay payments of taxes, and then we can get payment if you show that your income has decreased more than 75%. But then they have realized that we present this kind of information every 3 months, so you cannot show it, because there's nothing to be shown. So they are literally, and I think it's the same everywhere, they are going way behind the things, and just trying to put small bandages on this huge round that is bleeding everywhere. But yes, I mean, they are announcing things, but quite of late, always.
Yeah, I mean it's the same here. There something new is coming up every day. I get an email from my accountant every day with something different, and it's hard to follow. But like, yeah, utility bills are, I think, suspended. If you haven't been paying your bills, they're not gonna what do you call it? Cut the
right.
Yeah. What else? Yeah, if freelancers, I think, are gonna get €600 for now. I don't know. It's not really clear how or who this is going to apply to, or when. Yeah, that's sort of stuff. So I think they're figuring it out as they go, and for once, I can't really blame them, because this is something which is completely out of the ordinary. But yeah, they're trying to keep up, and they're trying to make things work so that citizens at least have some kind of relief. And mortgages as well, I think, have been suspended. Right. Mortgage payments.
Right.
Yeah. Same here in Spain. All these things have been, like, for some people, like, not for everybody, but depending on your income and so on. But again, for example, 2 or 3 days ago, they announced that TVs on public hospitals are going to be for free, which sounds something that is very stupid, but was causing a lot of trouble to people because when you get into the hospital with the virus, literally they take you, throw you into a room, and you have
Right.
they were leaving the food outside
Yeah.
the room.
My
The
God.
doctors and all
Right.
all the workers can just go, because of that's the procedure, can just go inside once per day. So
Yep.
It's like solitary confinement.
yeah, and then they found that people were getting literally crazy because maybe they didn't have their phone, and they weren't even able to go downstairs, because usually those machines are downstairs to get tokens for the TV. So now but I mean, they are doing. I cannot imagine the minister's desk nowadays. They have to
Yeah.
have a huge amount of things, and then I mean, I wouldn't, even if they are allowed to go outside, I wouldn't change my position with any of them right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, as we wrap this up, I don't know. I would love to end on a hopeful note. I don't know. We Americans are kind of right behind you guys, and we're looking at you
Yeah.
guys as examples of how to handle the situation. I mean, from here, it seems like you guys are handling it great. That's kind of why I wanted to do this, to kind of really get a sense
Yeah.
of what real people are experiencing on a day-to-day basis, and because this is going to be the entire world. But I don't know, is there anything that you can leave us with that doesn't make us want to completely get
I
depressed?
mean, okay, no, maybe we can end on a hopeful note later. First, I would like to point out that there's a lot of pain that we haven't talked about, which maybe I haven't witnessed personally so far. Fingers crossed, and but you see it on TV, you read about them, you see pictures, and there's a lot of pain, and it's something that I have never seen in this massive proportions. And coming to your question, I think something else I would like to say is that you definitely shouldn't underestimate it, and because that was the problem. As Tamim was saying in the beginning of the talk, the example that we had in Italy of the only precedent was China, but it felt really far. We thought the economic structure is different, the social structure is different, the government is different. They're on lockdown. Well, China has a different type of approach to that kind of situation. It felt like, the Chinese government was being very strict, as opposed to, the European Union, where democracy works on a different scale. But then we realized that, now, when they tell us, you don't have to go, you can go for a walk your dog right there, but not right there. You're like, yeah. I get it. And so, like, one of my main things that I was talking about with my friends and my coworkers a few weeks ago, it feels like ages, but it's a few weeks ago, it was kind of unsettling, because we didn't know where paranoia started and where, being reasonably prudent ended. I don't know. So, like, am I doing too much? Am I doing too little? I think the advantage other countries have now is that they know that you really have to take it seriously, but very seriously. So don't go outside if they tell you not to. Just stay inside. You're not being paranoid. Just keep it as safe as you can.
To try to flatten that curve. You guys haven't flattened the curve yet. Your deaths and your cases are still kind of like this.
Yeah, it's not exponential anymore, but it's still not. It's still going up.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
especially,
go ahead, Lorenzo. No, go ahead.
No, it's especially in northern Italy. There are cities or regions in which it's just a massacre. So it's like, and the thing that it shows 2 weeks later, it's just, even emotionally, something like, this something coming from the past that you can't stop and that you can't do anything about right now. But if you have a chance to sort of limit the spread, you should really do it. And so, if people if you're wondering whether you're being paranoid, I mean, I'm not saying that you should panic, but you should take this seriously. So, if you're uncertain whether to go out or go to a party or go to a dinner party or whatever, or not going, just stay at home.
It's not the moment. Yeah, we were talking with some friends, like here in Spain. Even we have it was not China, it was Italy. Italy is not next to us, but it's very close. And the situation was like, now there's a lot of talking about if the government should have took measures before.
Mm-hmm.
And of course now everybody says yes, of course, and they are blaming the government.
Yeah.
Of course, but I know that even at that moment, if measures were taken and you remove football, there's no football matches anymore because they gather 8,000 people in one place, and then you cancel a couple of political demonstrations that there were, and a few things, people would have blamed the government.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that situation, now learn from our mistakes. Learn from our mistakes. This is exactly what Lorenzo said. It's real, it's huge, and it takes time to show, and that's the problem.
Yeah.
It takes time to show.
Yeah,
it may be bigger in the country, in your country. It may be bigger around you that you think, because it takes time to show.
And then it's really quick. So when it starts,
right,
it starts growing really fast. So and then you freak out. So, but yeah, we're talking about something hopeful to say. So I don't know.
I would say.
Well, we'll get through this. I mean, I think that's and hopefully we'll
learned
get
through this, and we'll learn. For example, in Spain, public health system was being dismantled, and now everybody is praying for it, and even those who were actively breaking it and dismantling it are going to the public health system. And now we realize that public systems do work, and are not a luxury. It's something that you need for these situations. And then you realize that the people that are cleaning the streets, who usually are someone like that you don't care at all, now they are very important. And we are, so that's my point of hope, that we will be able to see things differently.
Yeah, that's true. I feel the same about the public health system and how important it is. And maybe that's, while I agree with Tamim with what he was saying before, that maybe the overall structure of society or the economy will not radically change. Maybe those bits are going to be looked at from a different point of view, because I think people are realizing, in fact, how important it is to be able to rely on a public health system and one that works. And maybe if we hadn't had so many cuts on funds for the public health system, maybe it wouldn't be under such stress right now. Or, I mean, because the doctors and the nurses are doing an amazing job and they're giving their all. But, maybe, we're going to learn that we need to give more importance to whatever money we have to spend on that sector.
And I don't want to show pessimistic about the change. If there's a chance in my life for a change in the world that I live, it's now.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully that's the biggest thing that has happened and that will probably happen in the Spanish society, in the European society.
Well, societies everywhere.
But I know about the European societies, and I can tell you that probably from the wars, that's the biggest thing that is going to happen. I mean, keeping citizens at home for a long period, that's going to be huge. So if there's a chance of change, it's now.
Right.
We have a lot of time to think about it.
Very true. Well, thank you so much. This was really, really insightful. I hope people who get to listen and get to listen later have some takeaways. And I want you guys to be safe and stay healthy, please. Take care of that cough, Lorenzo. I don't like that.
It's okay. Like I had it. I told my doctor. He said I'm fine. I don't have a fever. I don't
Okay.
have any other symptoms. Other illnesses continue.
I know. We
It's,
can't. We're not
you know,
allowed to cough anymore. You know that, right?
Yeah, and yeah, well, it's it's the you cough and you're like, oh wait, what is this? But then it's okay.
Good. Well, stay safe and thank you so much. And keep now we'll definitely keep in touch, okay?
Okay.
Okay, keep in touch.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.